If you've been watching my videos recently, you might have noticed that I have been wearing some funky t-shirts. That's because my partner and I launched this clothing brand in just 24 hours. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can too. First off, it's worth me telling you a little bit about who we are and what we do. So we're Younisex, a unisex clothing brand. And we came about because my partner and I were recently talking about our LGBTQ journey. And we both felt that even though the world has come a really long way, even since we've been on the planet, there is a lot more that can be done to help people express their true, authentic selves. We both also observed how clothing has played a big part in our LGBTQ journey. To be honest, whenever we buy a piece of clothing, we never look at the gender origin of the item. It doesn't matter if it's from the men's section, the women's section, or wherever it's from. As long as we feel good wearing it and it looks good, then we'll just buy it. But neither of us has really ever got over that slightly awkward feeling of when you're going to just browse the men's section. And we've also chatted to men who like to shop in the women's section, but they also feel awkward about being there. We just felt that clothes is clothes is clothes. If it looks good, feels good, why does anything else matter? So we wanted to create a clothing brand that transcended gender and was just about making you feel at home in your clothes and ultimately in your own skin. That's why we created an LGBTQ pride-inspired unisex clothing brand that has an awesome community and values that you want to be part of, and clothing that just makes you feel, at home. And we launched all this in just 24 hours. I'm going to tell you now how we did that, how you can do it too, and hopefully inspire you to make your dreams a reality. There are 4 steps you need to launching your e-com business. For us, it's clothing, but actually this is applicable whatever type of product you want to launch. Number 1, decide on your niche. For us, unisex fashion in the LGBT space made complete sense because that's what's important to us. And to be honest, the idea of doing this just leapt to us randomly one Saturday morning in an electronics shop. And I just sort of said the idea aloud and we just both looked at each other and went, that's it. Whatever your niche is, it is important to have one because that helps you work out who you're actually selling to, and that helps you with your branding and your marketing to make your message really clear to your customer. You cannot be everything to everyone. Decide your niche, back the horse, and go for it. Number 2 is finding a platform. For us, we're using Shopify because, to be honest, I'd heard loads about it, I'd read good reviews, I'd spoken to some people who'd used it, and they all said good things. And to sweeten the deal, there's 97% off your first 3 months. That's not affiliate, by the way, that's just there if you go to the normal website. Nothing in this video is sponsored. So yeah, we decided to use Shopify. And personally, I found it a really easy user interface. It guides you through absolutely every part of setting up your e-com business, from designing your website through to connecting your suppliers, taking payments. It really is the idiot's guide to, hey, I did it. Secondly, it's designing your product. So for us with t-shirts, it's relatively simple. Now, we would love to work with a proper illustrator, artist, t-shirt designer in the future, but actually, just to get you to launch, you don't really need that. To give you an MVP, a minimum viable product, that's the smallest amount of stuff you can launch with, you can actually be a bit creative. So we've designed all our t-shirts ourselves using a combination of Adobe Express and Canva. So what we've tended to do is look for some kind of stock graphics that we can either rework and recut to put our own unique stamp on them, or we bring a bunch of them together to turn them into a bit of a funky design, and then we put some text on it and we put our own unique unisex brand stamp on it to make it authentic and unique to us. But we haven't had to go through all the rigmarole of finding a full designer and doing a collab and all of that. Absolutely in the future, but not for the very, very start. If you're going to do something like that, make sure that you check whatever platform you're using so that you know you have the right to use the images in the way you want to use them. You just don't want to get caught out later down the line. And now you need step 3. A supplier. Now there's lots of ways to do product-based businesses, but to get you started, I'm going to tell you a secret hack. You may or may not have heard of dropshipping. If you put dropshipping into YouTube or Google, it's going to spam you with stories about people who've made millions through dropshipping random products on Amazon, or I think they ban it now, but other platforms, whatever. This is not about that type of dropshipping. When you're talking about it in the context of printing t-shirts, it's called print on demand. But the idea is the same. It's when you connect the supplier of the product directly with the customer and it doesn't come via you. What I mean is, if you, as a customer, were to go onto our website and place an order, we would be notified about the order, but it would go straight to our manufacturer, who would print you just that one specific t-shirt, and the manufacturer will send it from their factory over to your house directly, and it never passes through my hands personally. This is a great way to get started, because I don't want to be buying a whole bunch of stock up front if I don't know how the t-shirt designs are going to land, what are going to be the most popular sizes, roughly how many do I really need. Actually, this is a really great way of spending absolutely nothing up front, at least on the manufacturing cost, and still being able to sell a product. And we're using Printify to connect us with dropshipping, print-on-demand suppliers. And I don't think we're going to run our business like this forever. It's actually, from a business perspective, it's not the most cost-effective way for us to sell the product, but we still want it to be affordable. So we've actually taken a bit of a hit on profit margin. As we gather data, we can look at bulk ordering, because that is, from a cost perspective, much more efficient. But just to get you started, print on demand is a fantastic way to get launching and get the product out there without having long lead times, etc., etc. You've got your niche, you've found your platform, you've designed your product, you found a supplier to supply your product. The only thing left to do now is launch. When we first started, we actually launched with a soft launch, which means we put everything out into the ether. The website was live, social media was live, everything was connected, but we didn't run any paid ad campaigns, for example. So no Google ads, Instagram, Facebook ads, nothing like that. We did have Facebook Shop, but we didn't run any paid ad campaign. Instead, we just posted about it on our personal social media accounts, and we kind of let organic word of mouth help us grow for at least the first month. This just gave us an opportunity to find our feet and get settled in without too much pressure from volume of sales. Because the astute amongst you would have realised that we actually didn't see any sample t-shirts before we had commercially launched. Now, if I could turn back the clock, I wouldn't do it like this. I absolutely wouldn't recommend it, but we live and learn. We didn't have any absolute disasters, but I will make a video sharing what we learned in our first month of trading, and yeah, that lesson's going to be pretty high up there, to be honest. So this is us. If you're sitting at home thinking that e-com businesses have a high barrier to entry, you need a high initial capital outlay, or that it takes loads of time, then I hope this video has proven to you that that doesn't need to be the case. With a bit of focused attention and playing it a bit creative and a bit smart in terms of how you structure your business, you can launch a viable e-com business in just 24 hours. We've proven that by doing it, and we made sales in our first day of trading, which was an incredible buzz, to be honest. I know this is a bit of a break from our normal consulting content, so I am going to make a video about how I manage my day as both a consultant and with an e-com clothing brand. I'll show you how I balance the two. In the meantime, I hope this video has shown you that if you've got a dream, you can absolutely go and make it happen. Just go and arm yourself with the 4 steps I've mentioned in this video and go and make your dreams a reality. I hope this has inspired you. Let's share tips in the comments, help each other out. I can't wait to see you in the next one.